God is dead. Have you ever questioned the very foundation of your beliefs? What if everything you've been told about morality, life, and purpose was based on a lie? Imagine a world where the rules that governed human existence no longer apply. This is the shocking world Friedrich Nietzsche introduces us to when he famously declared, "God is dead." But what does this statement really mean? Does Nietzsche want us to abandon God completely? Or is there a deeper, more profound truth buried within this statement? In today's video, we're diving into one of the most controversial and revolutionary ideas in modern philosophy, Nietzsche's claim that God is dead. By the end of this video, you'll understand how Nietzsche's declaration transformed the way we view existence, morality, and personal freedom. More importantly, we'll explore what it means for you today, living in a world where traditional beliefs and structures are no longer as reliable as they once were. Stay with me, because what we uncover here may just change the way you see the world forever. What does "God is dead" really mean? When Nietzsche declared, "God is dead," it wasn't a literal statement. He wasn't talking about the death of a divine being. Instead, Nietzsche was addressing the decline of traditional religious beliefs in the modern world. Throughout history, religion, particularly Christianity, has been the cornerstone of society, offering answers to life's biggest questions: morality, purpose, and the afterlife. But with the rise of science and rational thought, these religious explanations began to lose their grip. By the 19th century, the Enlightenment and scientific advancements had already begun to challenge religious dogmas. People no longer needed divine explanations to understand the natural world. As a result, Nietzsche saw that many people were rejecting God's role in their lives. And with this rejection, they faced an existential crisis. The death of God symbolized the collapse of a value system that had once governed society. Nietzsche's idea wasn't to incite chaos, but to call attention to the responsibility humans now faced. If the traditional moral compass was gone, who would set the rules? And more importantly, who would provide meaning to life? The decline of traditional beliefs. In the wake of the death of God, humanity found itself at a crossroads. For centuries, religion had been the lens through which people saw the world. It gave them purpose, defined their morality, and provided comfort in times of uncertainty. But as society advanced, people began questioning those old systems of belief. The scientific revolution, the rise of secularism, and the questioning of divine authority led to a gradual breakdown of religious beliefs. Nietzsche understood that this was a pivotal moment in history. As society moved toward secularism, it wasn't just about rejecting God, it was about what came next. Without a higher power to guide us, humans were left to face the world alone, with no clear moral framework to follow. This left many individuals lost, searching for new meaning in an increasingly complex and uncertain world. At the same time, Nietzsche saw the collapse of traditional beliefs as an opportunity. Without an overarching authority dictating right and wrong, humans now had the freedom to create their own values. But this freedom came with its own set of challenges. How could people find meaning in a godless world? How could society function without a shared moral structure? The concept of the Übermensch Superman. Nietzsche's response to the crisis created by the death of God was the concept of the Übermensch, or Superman. The Übermensch is not a physical superior being, but a philosophical ideal, the individual who rises above conventional morality and creates their own values. In a world where traditional structures of meaning no longer exist, Nietzsche believed that the Bermensch was the solution. The Bermensch represents the person who embraces life fully, accepts its challenges, and transcends societal norms. Unlike those who fall into nihilism, the belief that life is meaningless, the Bermensch creates their own meaning through personal strength, creativity, and a commitment to living authentically. The Bermensch is not bound by the moral codes imposed by religion or society, but is free to define their own path. This figure is the opposite of the passive follower who waits for meaning to be handed to them. Instead, the Bermensch embraces their own will to power the drive to assert themselves and shape their world according to their own values. Nietzsche believed this kind of individual could overcome the chaos created by the death of God, bringing new life and meaning into the world. The void after God's death. One of the most immediate consequences of the death of God was nihilism, the belief that life has no inherent meaning. Without God, without a divine order, many people felt that existence itself was pointless. This fear of meaninglessness was one of the main concerns that Nietzsche addressed. He understood that without a guiding system, people might fall into despair, feeling that nothing mattered. Nihilism, for Nietzsche, was a dangerous outcome. It was a state of despair and hopelessness that could lead to societal collapse. If we accept that there is no inherent meaning in the universe, then why strive for anything at all? Why follow any moral code or care about anything? Nietzsche warned that this line of thinking could lead to self-destruction, both individually and collectively. However, Nietzsche did not see nihilism as an inevitable fate. Instead, he believed it was an opportunity for the individual to rise above it, to transcend the void and create their own values. The Bermensch, as mentioned earlier, is the answer to nihilism, an individual who rejects the despair of meaninglessness and takes control of their own life, shaping their own values and meaning in a world that no longer provides them, overcoming nihilism and embracing the will to power. After describing the dangers of nihilism, Nietzsche presented the concept of the will to power as the antidote. The will to power is the fundamental drive behind human behavior. It's not just the desire for domination, but the desire to assert oneself, to create, and to grow. Nietzsche believed that this will to power was what drove individuals to shape their own lives, to overcome obstacles, and to achieve greatness. In a world where traditional values no longer exist, the will to power becomes the means by which people assert meaning in their lives. It's about taking full responsibility for one's existence and creating your own path in life. For Nietzsche, the will to power is a liberating force. It enables people to live authentically, to act in accordance with their true nature, and to push beyond societal expectations and limitations. By embracing the will to power, individuals can overcome the existential crisis caused by the death of God. Instead of sinking into despair or embracing nihilism, they can forge their own destiny and shape the world according to their own values. This is the essence of Nietzsche's philosophy. Life is what you make of it. Nietzsche's influence on modern philosophy and culture. Nietzsche's ideas have had a profound influence on modern philosophy, particularly existentialism and postmodernism. Thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre, Albert Camus, and Michel Foucault were all deeply influenced by Nietzsche's rejection of traditional values and his focus on individual freedom. Nietzsche's emphasis on creating meaning in an uncertain world paved the way for existentialism, which focuses on personal responsibility and the search for authentic existence. Nietzsche also contributed to the rise of postmodernism, challenging the idea of universal truths and emphasizing the importance of subjective experience. His critiques of religion, morality, and societal norms continue to influence contemporary discussions about power, identity, and meaning. In popular culture, Nietzsche's philosophy has been explored in a variety of ways. From literature to film, his ideas about the Übermensch and the will to power have inspired countless creators. His rejection of traditional authority and his call for individuals to embrace their freedom resonates with many who feel constrained by societal norms. Nietzsche's influence is so widespread that it's impossible to fully capture in a single video. But his work continues to be relevant today, challenging us to question our assumptions and live more authentically. The relevance of God is dead today. Nietzsche's declaration that God is dead still resonates deeply in our world today. In an age of rapid technological advancement, increasing secularism, and the breakdown of traditional values, many people feel the sense of meaninglessness that Nietzsche predicted. Religion no longer plays the central role it once did in guiding people's lives. And with that loss has come a growing existential crisis. In modern society, many individuals struggle to find purpose and direction without the moral certainties that religion once provided. Nietzsche's critique of traditional values and his call for individuals to create their own meaning is more relevant than ever. The rise of social media, global capitalism, and political instability has left many people feeling disconnected and adrift.